Hello, everyone. Wayne County now. Dustin Fuller with you. It is 3:35 in the afternoon. We do have some warnings on the map, or we have had some warnings on the map, but currently the one warning that was on the board has been allowed to expire. But we do have showers, thunderstorms moving into the area. Currently at the airport, 96 degrees out there. Thunderstorm in vicinity. So right now, if you're on the screen, this blue box is a special weather statement. It is a strong thunderstorm advisory. It's in effect until, let me see what information might be available. See, it doesn't say when it's in place until, but Doppler radar was tracking storms along a line extending from near Sumner to 6 miles southeast of Clay City to near Xenia, moving southeast at 35, penny-sized hail and wind gust up to 50. So if you know anyone that's out at the city park or outdoors, you need to get them indoors right about now as the storms are starting to come into the area. Jeff about to get hit with some pretty heavy rainfall. Mount Erie seeing the heavy rainfall right now. Enterprise seeing rainfall, but let's track this out real quick. That way you can see how this is tracking. Also, need to think about those over in Edwards County. West Salem seeing the rain right now. Allendale over in Wabash County seeing rainfall right now. But there is no official severe thunderstorm warning. This is just a strong thunderstorm advisory. But this line has had warnings tied to it most of the afternoon. And there has been reports of hail. In fact, this is a hail report that just came in a little bit ago. 1.25 inch diameter over around Mount Erie. So it's a matter of time before anything does get issued from the National Weather Service. That is over criteria for a severe thunderstorm warning. Let's switch you to hail tracker here real quick on our system. Let's go to the hail track and current hail. A little bit of hail to the east of Mount Erie, a little bit of hail over kind of in between Johnson or Round Prairie and Jeff in that area. Just looking. Also, some hail in the Edwards County area as well. So we go back to the more standard reflectivity, and this is out of the Evansville radar. We're going to leave this on screen for you. If anything does pop, we will keep you aware of the situation. So just to remind everyone, we're currently just under what's called a strong thunderstorm advisory for portions of Wabash, Wayne, and Edwards counties. But I'm going to draw your attention to something real quick. This is the current temperature at the Noble Airport around Olney, 73. Down here at the Fairfield Airport, 96. So one thing you're going to notice once this line comes through is a drop in the temperature, which I think some people might enjoy that. And we're going to look back to the north and west for a second, because I don't think necessarily our fun is over yet. As we go back looking towards Springfield, we look and see there's another area of showers and thunderstorms back around Jacksonville that is moving to the south and east. It's going to go through like Carlinville, Hillsborough, Greenville. That area might catch portions of Wayne and Jefferson County on the west side. And potentially it's trying to maybe work into something up north around Decatur, maybe round 2 later on. Just a observation I'm seeing. Nothing for us to be worried about exactly yet, but there is a severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 7 this evening for the counties that are outlined in pink. That is Clay, Richland, Lawrence, then up into Fayette, Effingham, Jasper, Crawford counties in Illinois. Have not looked yet for a mesoscale discussion, and a new strong thunderstorm advisory just came down from the Weather Service as of 3:47 p.m. Doppler radar was tracking storms along a line extending from 9 miles northeast of Patoka, Indiana, to near Lancaster, to near Fairfield, moving to the east-southeast at 35. 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail are the hazards radar indicated. That includes I-69 in Indiana, between mile markers 28 and 52, which is Gibson and Pike counties, and then I-64 in Illinois between mile markers 108 and 115, which is basically 2 miles to the west of the Fairfield exit and all the way to the county line. Torrential rainfall is occurring with these storms and may lead to localized flooding. A reminder, don't drive your vehicle through flooded roadways. Frequent cloud-to-ground lightning is occurring with these storms. Lightning can strike 10 miles away from a thunderstorm. And a reminder, this is Lightning Safety Week, so if you hear thunder, go indoors. That's just a friendly reminder. And the storms may intensify, so be sure to keep tuned here to Wayne County Now or other media outlets for the latest in initial information on these storms and potential warnings. As right now, the biggest cell in this is to the northeast of Fairfield, and it's going to stay out of the Fairfield area per se. It's going to go maybe catch portions of Albion, might catch Golden Gate a little bit. Right now, 96 at the Fairfield Airport and 73 up at the airport up at Noble. So, and that's not a very large distance. So there's definitely some wind with this line of storms. By the way, 84 in Salem, but they didn't have a line come through there either. By the way, Jefferson County over at the airport of Mount Vernon, 99 currently. So you could definitely tell where the line has been and where it has not been just by looking at the temperature. If anything does break, we will let you know. I'm going to go ahead and mute my mic. And if anything, as mentioned, does pop, I'll be back on. And good afternoon at Wayne County now. It is 4:23 in the afternoon, and we can definitely tell you Clay County has been dropped from the severe thunderstorm watch. Lawrence and Richland counties have not been dropped yet, but that may be something that comes. By the way, temperature has dropped 20 degrees in Fairfield in the last hour. It was 96 earlier. Currently at the Fairfield Municipal Airport, it is currently 76 right now, just to give an observation. We're going to check in with Derek Dunn here in a little bit, and we're going to get his comments on the situation. I'm going to mute my mic temporarily while we get him connected. And welcome back to Wayne County Now. For those watching, apologize, we're on the, there we go. Now the radar's back up. Derek Dunn has joined us on the Il Telefone, if you will. And Derek, what are you seeing on your end?
Well, first of all, Dustin, I want to say thanks for allowing me to hop on with you for a little bit here on Wayne County Now. Really enjoyed the coverage you've been providing this afternoon. Yeah, I just got a few thoughts real quick. First of all, it's 96 degrees in Carmi, Illinois, but that's about to change here in about maybe 15 minutes or so. In Fairfield right now it's 74. So when after work, we stepped outside and noticed how the rain was starting to lessen in intensity a little bit. But still felt a little bit of wind out there. But Dustin, the one thing, what really kind of surprised me about this line was, this line has traveled quite a distance, and over the course
Yes.
of time, it really has grown in terms of length. I mean, this line, when it was around Bloomington, when I first saw it, Bloomington, Illinois, that is, when I first saw it on radar, I didn't think it was going to hit Fairfield. I thought it was going to skirt around Wayne County. It may get down to like Jasper, Clark and Lawrence counties, but it just kept extending to the west. And I'm thinking, okay, this is going to get interesting. And then voila, there's the line just right there on top of Wayne County. But one thing for sure is I kind of go back to Sunday a couple of days ago where we had that rain overnight. And one of the members of my church called it a refreshing rain. Well, that was a refreshing rain. And this rain that we're getting here is certainly refreshing for the farmers because, Dustin, I'm probably one of the homeowners who can say that there was starting to be some brown in my yard because of the hot, dry weather streak that we were on. And so this rain will certainly help with that. And also, you begin to think about the Little League baseball and softball games this week. I think it's postseason for them. And so, with the way the fields are now, are they playable? I don't know. But certainly, though, quite a bit of rain has fallen. I think more than the amount for Sunday. And so, some baseball and softball fields kind of in wet condition right now. But we see this line already impacting the I-64 corridor. It's been strong, but really not severe, though. It's had some flashes of severe thunderstorm warnings, but not very consistently either. But we have, you talked about that second round earlier, Dustin. We look over here to the northwest and it doesn't look too impressive to me. It's kind of been breaking up a little bit on radar. We'll see if that trend continues. If so, good for us. We'll certainly take a calm Tuesday evening, a Tuesday night. We got a decent chance of rain and storms tomorrow, but I'm not expecting hardly any severe weather with that at all. But again, this right here, just looking at the radar, pretty much these storms along the I-64 corridor continue to push in southeast, and for this line to last several hours, I give it some credit for that. So it's really expanded further to the west, but still though, definitely a line that has some rain, some heavy rain with it, a little bit of wind out ahead of it, and definitely some small hail.
Well, so far I've got precipitation totals up on the screen right now. The place that got the most rainfall around Parkersburg, just to the northwest of West Salem. So basically, the 130 corridor in the area, almost the Tri-County area of 130, if you know where I'm talking about Wayne,
Yeah.
Richland, Edwards County. 130 goes just very close to the county line there for Wayne County and goes through Edwards and Richland counties. And that area has seen the most rainfall, about, I would say, it's between 1 and 1.5 inches in that area. You look back
Mm-hmm.
towards Fairfield, very minimal rainfall, maybe at the most a tenth to maybe 2/10 of an inch of rain.
Mm-hmm.
And then going back
Yeah.
back by Wayne City, around close to an inch in that area. So very
Mm-hmm.
scattered rainfall.
Right. But any rain that, the farmers can get at this point in time, with all the heat that just happened, they will certainly take it.
Yes, and right now, the severe thunderstorm watch for Lawrence, Richland, Clay has been dropped. Uh, a severe thunderstorm watch remains in effect for Fayette County, but that is
Hmm.
for what is up around the Springfield area. For that, I'm going to shoot out of the Lincoln radar. I think that one would be the closest. It certainly would be. That is the Lincoln radar there, and now there's no warnings on this stuff, but also it's starting to break up
Hmm.
around the Whitehall, the Godfrey area. There's stuff around there, St. Charles, St. Louis, trying to fizzle out of St. Louis area. Let me switch over to St. Louis radar real quick because over
Hmm.
there they're experiencing high temperatures as well. In fact, St. Charles and St. Louis both temperatures currently 101 in those
Hmm.
areas. 101 over at the airport at St. Louis, over at the East St. Louis radar area, or not radar, but the East St. Louis downtown airport 101 there as well. 99 over at Mid American Airport over at Belleville.
Hmm.
But yeah, no,
You just tell the difference, Dustin, between, the areas that have received the rain and storms and the
yes,
areas that haven't. And those storms over, you look at north of St. Louis, northwest of St. Louis. I mean, that's just fuel for these storms. So um, I would not be surprised if we would see a strengthening of that part over there for the folks over at Missouri.
that is very possible. And there's no watch here, just to stretch. There's no watch in the Wayne County area, just to be clear.
Hmm.
That said, we're still under a slight risk of severe weather. That has not changed. And I think it's because of remnants from what is going on up around the Springfield area and what might develop because they have not had their main event. And
Hmm.
I don't think what we just had was our main event. If that's our main event, then I think,
I'll take it.
yeah, I think you know what I mean, though. I don't think
Yeah.
that was our main event. That was just the warm up for the next round that may come later tonight.
Yeah, they were saying a good chance during the overnight hours. The only thing I see up there, if you look at Quad Cities, I see a tornado warning issued just east of Des Moines, but
And
that's.
that's, yep, I see that tornado warning on the map right now. It's a radar indicated tornado warning.
Hmm.
And I'm going to go to the models here. I'm going to pull up
Go ahead.
the NAM and let's not look at temp. Let's look at the supercell composite there. Really, it's not painting anything for our area on the NAM in the next 12 hours.
Yeah.
It's it's painting as if there's a cap, which may be a
Hmm.
good sign.
Maybe.
That may have been our main event. Uh, Looking at surface-based CAPE. So basically, what you're seeing right now, not very much in CAPE around right now, in the sense of energy, which is some good news. Just looking at models there, so it's about this. It's starting to try to stabilize, especially with what we've had.
Hmm.
So let's look at bulk shear. Not very much there. I do hear thunder outside of the studio here.
Yeah,
For
I do
the
too.
for those that don't know, I'm actually down at the RJ studio downtown. Meanwhile, Derek is working from home currently, and Looking at it right now, Fairfield getting a good thunder shower right now. Mill Shoals in the middle of it. Northern Hamilton County getting a good thunder shower. There's nothing on the board right now, just to be clear.
Mm-hmm.
And these storms still moving slow. I would say probably about 25, 30 at the most.
Mm-hmm. They've been slow moving all day.
That they have been, and I'm going to see if we can pull up 3D on these. Right now, just not very high cloud tops on these.
No, not at all.
So just giving you a little heads up. That's about maybe 30,000 feet up.
Same kilometers, I think. Yeah, kilometers per foot, I think.
Thousand.
That's what I'm looking.
I think
Oh.
1,000. K is 1,000.
Oh, okay. I looked at it like, is that kilometers? I was like, what? Okay.
No,
I mean,
we're not in
that's not
Canada. We're not in Mexico. We're not anywhere they
okay.
don't. We're not anywhere that they don't recognize the imperial scale today.
Okay, fair enough. But
And yes, I will check my text messages when I have time. Yeah, I don't judge. I'm old school a little bit. If you remember the old ICQ days, yes, that is my text tone. Don't judge. Right now, we do have a broken line, I guess, as we would say, broken line, Mount Carmel, all the way down to around Mill Shoals area, a little south there, maybe towards Springerton.
yeah.
And then back up towards Mount Vernon area. Stuff's trying to start forming in northwestern Washington County near Oakville, Breese, up in Clinton County, that area. It's south of Lake Carlisle, so, and then even sells back towards like Bethalto, Edwardsville, Alton, Wood River, up around St. Charles, Jerseyville, that area.
Well, you can just see that line, you know, just moving south, you know, through North City, Evansville, Mount Vernon, Indiana. You know, that really has been one of the culprits, I guess you could say, of what started this line to further extend to the west.
Yes. And that line.
You just see.
Sorry about that.
No, that's all right. You're good.
I was going to say there was plenty of damage that this line of storms did at Terre Haute along US 41. The billboards up by the Wabash Valley Fairgrounds, just south of I-70, sustained some pretty heavy damage. Saw some photos from that and Terre Haute Mayor Brandon Sackbun earlier posted some things as well.
Yeah, I saw that. You know, they were underneath that severe thunderstorm warning earlier, and seeing, you know, that report of that roof being blown off of a garage. That was by way of a trained weather spotter earlier when it was moving through Terre Haute. So this line, even though it's kind of, you know, broken up and everything, but if you go back a few hours ago, it was packing a punch through Terre Haute. And the same line here is strong, but, you know, Dustin, it seemed like as the afternoon has worn on, it just seems like it's losing its intensity little by little, I feel like, even though you have, you know, that severe thunderstorm warning to the northeast of Louisville, Kentucky. I call it like the head of the snake, if you will, a little bit. But if you look at everywhere else, there's really no warnings that I see associated with it. So, but this line, you know, you just can't overlook any line of storm by any means.
Well, and you mentioned that warning affecting portions of, I know it's southeastern Indiana, so I want to say, yeah, southwestern Jefferson County, northeastern Clark County, southeastern Scott County in Indiana, eastern Oldham County in Kentucky, north central Shelby County, southern Trimble County, Henry County. That goes until the top of the hour, by the way. Not that,
Mm-hmm.
not that I know if anyone's watching from that area, but that's heading towards the state capitol over in Frankfort and over towards Lexington as well. So that's
Mm-hmm.
going to affect the I-64 corridor in that area.
Yeah, and not only that, but you see Lagrange on there. I don't know if that's the same Lagrange that ZZ Top was singing about, but anyway, it's moving through the area. I think it's more like Lagrange, Texas, but anyway, but that's moving over to the northeast of Louisville, pretty high populated area. And you look at our region so far, starting to see here the cells again crossing I-64. It seems like these cells too, Dustin, when you play back frame by frame, it's like they keep training over the same areas. They keep pushing to the south, so could even see a little bit of flooding, perhaps,
That that
depending on the spot and the location.
that could be a concern later on, and I think they have some issues at the Terre Haute airport because their temperature reading it's not 32 out. We'll just say it that way. It's not 32 out.
It could be. I'm just saying. I mean, hey, we could have a little bit of winter during the summer, right? I mean, I see that right now. I see where you're getting at, but yeah, I think something's happened there.
I think
They,
either their system got thrown on Celsius or something.
we can see that.
32 Celsius, it's probably close to the 90s, and that's probably before it got knocked offline, if it got knocked
Yeah.
offline. Bloomington's
Yeah.
reporting a similar thing, so it could be just in line with that storm.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's some issues with and I believe Bloomington Terre Haute got that same line, and that's what's going through. It's got the warning right now, but that's had a warning clear back to Paris and up into east central Illinois, up around Douglas and Coles County, where that warning originated
Yeah.
from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw a photo of the storm when it was right above Mattoon, and like I see in that photo earlier, just so dark and ominous looking coming in from the north. So
4:46 the time here in Fairfield, and we don't have any warnings on the board. We're watching things off to our north and west at this moment, even though there are some storms in our area. No warnings at this time. I'm looking to see if there's anything that I could find here from the Weather Service office down in Paducah, because at this point, a lot of the storms are moving into Paducah.
mm-hmm.
Right now, not much in the form of wind down around the Newburgh area, gusts around 23 to 26 miles per hour near Deaconess Gateway out there. Temperatures have dropped rapidly. That is according to one of the EMA directors around the area, which we've seen that on our radar and our systems here. Right now, it's mentioned no warning here, and they're watching in St. Louis about some storms strengthening over in Monroe and Pike counties in Missouri that are heading off as well. So I'm going to tell you what, if we don't have anything at the top of the hour warning wise, we're going to sign off with a live stream. I've got to get the evening news podcast ready as we're getting at that time of day. That's got to be taken care of. Several things in the news today, so we will stream the news live on Wayne County Now. We'll actually record it live on Wayne County Now and our YouTube channel, and we'll put it out for the podcast side as soon as we can. So if you want to hang with us just a little bit here in Wayne County now, we will have your evening news podcast here in just a little bit. As right now, I don't think.
Also, Dustin, I'll be signing off as well here before long, but I will keep an eye on the weather as well on my end.
All right, and if I do see anything on my side, I will certainly change pace and go back to severe weather coverage. But I don't think we've got anything popping because I think most of this stuff has been. It seems like it's been dissipating a little bit. Like right now, Evansville Regional Airport, a temperature of 81 now at the airport. It's now 84 in Carmi. So the temperature's starting to drop down that way as well.
Yep.
And I think you can see a little bit of the front there. Don't always get to see this, but if you look on the radar, you can see a little bit of an outflow.
Yeah.
When from Franklin County all the way in like Benton, all the way towards just north of Owensboro, Davis County, Kentucky, that area. You could just kind of see that. It's kind of not something you see every day, but you could tell there's a little bit of wind there.
If you look at the temperatures, 96 in Harrisburg, 96 in Carbondale area, 92 in Madisonville, Kentucky. I mean, again, these areas have just not had any rain, but the way this line keeps pushing, they're going to get it. They're going to get some rain and storms. So, and still, 101 over at St. Louis area. Tell you, it's. I mean, yeah, it was hot today, no doubt. We were underneath a heat advisory, but this rain and storms has really knocked the temperature down to where you don't have to be worried about the heat at all at this moment. But I will say, though, we're still in the middle of summer. I mean, I'm looking at high of 86 for tomorrow, but then you're looking at Saturday, high of 94.
Yes.
It's gonna rebound back up.
Oh, yeah. We'll take some relief, though. And I mean.
Oh, yeah, big time.
I'll be more than happy to take the relief.
Oh, yeah. Same here. I'm not complaining. I'm not.
As we continue to see showers, thunderstorms on the radar right now. I'm going to go back towards Edwardsville, St. Louis area. No severe warnings back that way, which is something that we kind of want to see. Now, there's a strong thunderstorm advisory that's in effect for portions up around Taylorville and the Shelbyville area. So just north of Nokomis, just it's going to catch part of Shelbyville, but that's also going to be north of Effingham as well.
That should go toward north. It's moving east at 50, so.
Yeah, so that might catch, the way it's going, it might catch Terre Haute. Terre Haute's already been hit pretty good. This might be southern Vigo County that gets it this time. But it's the first special weather statement we've seen out in just a little bit, so that's something to keep an eye on because that's typically something you might see before you start to get warnings. And that would be from the Lincoln radar. I've got Evansville up here. So let's go to Lincoln. Yeah, it's a little strong. It's going to read a little differently there. Yep. A little bit of something there. Maybe trying to fizzle up around Taylorville, Kincaid. Just to east of Kincaid. Pana will be in the line of that as well.
Dustin, on our Facebook page, a good question. I kind of talked about this earlier, kind of wondered about this, but have they canceled Little League games yet in Fairfield?
I have not heard anything. I talked with Claire Vaughn here in this building just a little while ago. In fact, I believe Maddox was running around here when we had just got on headsets. When I just got my headset, Maddox tried popping his head into the studio. I don't think he realized that the mics were hot.
Oh,
But uh, I think as of right now, games are on. I've not heard anything different.
okay.
And some of that action out at baseball is tournament play, some of it is not. Softball is tournament play. I've not heard anything from Mabry on whether that is going on as planned. So my guess is no news is good news if you
Yeah.
want games. So if we have nothing to tell you about it, that just means I think we're good. They just now issued a severe thunderstorm warning on this cell back here for southern Rawls, northern Lincoln, eastern Audrain, northern Montgomery, southeastern Monroe, and Pike County in southeastern Missouri until 5:45. For these storms moving southeast at 45, that might catch. I don't need to go 150 frames here. Probably 21 will do. 21 will give us enough of a history. These things are just bubbling up.
Yeah.
And that's just the convection. Typically, when
Mm-hmm.
they're bubbling up like that, it's based off of convection.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you ever put a lasagna in the oven. I know it's dinner time. I'm gonna make people hungry.
Dude, you're making
Just
me hungry already. Go ahead.
just watching the cheese bubble on top of that lasagna.
Mm-hmm.
Yum yum.
Well, I was gonna have a burrito, but I think you may have changed my mind. So, um,
Burritos aren't bad
maybe.
either. I mean, it is
Nah, it's
taco.
Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, I
So,
was getting ready to say it's Taco Tuesday. I know a place you can get $1.25 tacos.
yeah, I do too. Um, looking here at that cell, it is good. If it continues this path and maintains its strength, it will impact the St. Louis area. I would think more kind
Yes,
of
that.
like the western central side. I just put a storm track on it. Um,
Yeah. The one
but
thing.
yeah, nothing severe at this time though that I'm seeing. But mainly those storms of the west. I think Missouri kind of like that prime breeding ground for some strong activity. Seemed like it used to be Illinois, now it's kind of shifted over to west of the Mississippi River.
Well, and I think once again it goes with the convection of the day because most of this has been based off convection. What's
Hmm.
popping up in the heat of the day will do that. Garden variety convection thunderstorms. I mean, no warnings, but these storms are pretty strong.
Hmm.
And we were just talking about, I feel like an hour ago, they were getting ready to hit Fairfield. They still haven't, they're just now reaching Carmi.
Yeah.
Let that sink in.
Hmm.
So, training is definitely a thing to be
Yeah.
on the lookout for. And I'm sure the farmers will be okay with a little bit of rainfall.
Hmm. Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah. As
any
long as it
farmer.
doesn't, as long as it doesn't drown out their crops, they'll be
Right.
fine.
I mean, I'm sure they were doing their rain dance earlier this week when the drought monitor came out.
Hmm.
And now I imagine Thursday morning's drought monitor is going to be slightly inaccurate
Hmm.
because with the drought monitor, it's basically prepared on Tuesday and released Thursday mornings.
Hmm.
So when we talk about the drought situation, because Wayne County was abnormally dry on the last drought monitor, what we're going to see is the early morning information when they take the information and
Hmm.
not the information of storms coming through in the afternoon on Tuesday. So
Right.
I would brace yourself for maybe a false report on the drought monitor, but it all depends.
Hmm. And then you look at Wednesday, I'm looking at Paducah's site for the Fairfield area, 80% chance of showers and possibly a storm.
Yeah,
So that does not factor into their drought monitor. So there could be inaccuracies with it. But for the farmers, we talked about this hot, dry streak of weather as of late. It's certainly a relief. It's certainly refreshing. And not only that, but this month of June, if you consider how dry it has been relatively a dry month, all things considered. Now, last year, I remember how dry June was and how there was fireworks shows that got canceled or postponed because of the dry month of June last year.
very
Now,
true.
this this rain, um, will certainly help alleviate some of the dryness that we've seen of the ground of the soil. So I think I'm hoping that we will have some fireworks shows, not just here locally, but other communities around here in our region and elsewhere. But again, we've seen some dry months of June in the past.
Looking at the model run for tomorrow morning, some showers move through, kind of scattered. Actually starts tonight and goes into tomorrow morning. Let me see if I can get more than 12 hours on that. Yeah, all I'm seeing on the HRRR is about 12 hours out, 12 to 18 hours out. So right now, some rainfall in the morning, but it's not going to
Hmm.
be. I mean, I think the bulk of the rain will be in the afternoon tomorrow.
Hmm.
And basically, from what I've seen, general thunderstorms on the model run from the Weather Service. But it
Hmm.
is 5 o'clock. We don't have any warnings in our area. So we are going to sign off of Wayne County now for now. We do have a
Hmm.
newscast coming up in just a little bit. And for Derek, you have final comments?
I just want to say, I think, this line, when you asked me, uh, to help out, it's hard to believe it's been about a month ago. It's crazy. Um, but at least this line has broken up a little bit. We see a little bit of separation. When I look at the radar, right around New Harmony, Evansville, we kind of see like two different clusters here. It was a solid line, but say this, still we'll still keep an eye on the weather off to the northwest of us. There's still some activity out there, but it looks like I think it may bypass us here. I think, but man, I could be wrong too. So, but I know Dustin, you'll be posting updates on Wayne County now. I know you'll be keeping all of us informed. And as always, thanks for allowing me to hop on here with you a little bit, just kind of talk some weather, talk some storms, and hopefully we just have a quiet rest of the night because I think that's what we all want pretty much.
I believe so. And I just got a message from Claire.
Oh,
That's a personal message.
no.
Yeah. So, a reminder for the latest local news, weather, and sports anytime. Check out our website, mywaynecountynow.com, and I will be back on here with our newscast here in just a little bit.